we're going to take a look at how to research. So I've provided a guide that walks you through it, and let me share my screen and we will take a look and go through this together, and I'll show you exactly what you'll want to do. Okay, so you have a guide, how to research, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, that's better. All right, so the first thing you do, you want to go to this link. Also, you can get there if you simply do a search for BCTC Library. The first link that comes up, Library BCTC, that's what you need. So either way is fine. Click on the link, do the search. Under quick links, you're going to click on Academic Search Complete. And this is the most common database that you're going to use. It's a great one no matter what major you go into. I bet you'll be using Academic Search Complete. So this is great practice. Later we're going to use, real briefly, I'm going to show you opposing viewpoints, but newspaper source is another one that you can delve into if you like. And JSTOR can be a good one, particularly for humanities and literature. JSTOR can be good. So anyways, for this one, I recommend Academic Search Complete is going to be the one that I recommend to use. Secondly, you may want to consider opposing viewpoints. Those are both great for the type of arguments that we're going to be doing. So let's do that. Under quick links, we're going to click on the Academic Search Complete. So let's find that. Okay, so there's our quick links, and there's Academic Search Complete. So we'll click on that. Okay, let's see what we do next. Okay, so if you need to log in with your BCTC login info, that's fine. It's your same login information that you used for Blackboard. And so before you search, you do want to make sure this advanced search is selected. And also, you want to make sure under limit your results that full text and PDF full text is selected. So let's take a look at that and make sure everything's in order there. So you can see here the advanced search has already been chosen for us, so that's what we want. And next it told us to go through, and it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt for anything that says something like full text right here. So we're going to click that, and anything that says anything like PDF full text or HTML full text, basically anything that indicates full text you want to click. And the reason for that, if you don't click that, it'll give you a lot of results that you won't be able to view, and that can just take up a lot of your time. So all right, we've got that done. Now what it's telling us. Okay, it's telling us now to go into the search bar and search our search terms. So since we've read a couple on education, let's start with education. So let's do that. Let's just start in general with education. Now, something I want to point out to you, you notice I've just typed the word education. If you're starting off in your research and you don't know exactly what you want to argue about education, this can be a good way to get some ideas. So here we've got education or school learning or classroom or education systems, educational technology, educational psychology, education inequality. Well, there you go. We've read quite a bit about education inequality. So if you want to argue about that, let's do that. Let's give that a search and see what happens. So all right, we've got our term. We're hitting search. Okay, so you can see here it's showing 1 through 50 of 767 results. So that's a healthy amount of searches there. So let's take a look at any other guidance we're going to get here. Okay. All right, so in the search bar, we've already done step 5. We're at step 6. Scroll through the results using the subjects and abstract, the magnifying glass icon on the right. Click on the title to view the detailed record, so we'll have to remember that. Okay, click on the PDF full text to view the article. Okay, and then it's telling us how to save it if we find a good one. So let's talk about how to limit it a little bit first. Since we're getting a lot of options here, 767, that's a lot. I don't know about you, but I don't have a whole lot of time to read 767 articles. So let's say inequality in education, let's say you're thinking your argument is more a modern argument. So let's look at like the last 8 years. So what I did is I just scrolled that bar over and it's updating our results. So it won't bring up anything that's not newer than, wow, that's still got 469 limited to that. So, okay, we're not getting anything before 2012. So if we're focusing an argument or looking for a source that's current, this would be a good way to do it. You can see if you want to limit it to just newspapers or just academic journals or magazines, you can do that. And this is also helpful at times. You can go through subject. If you just want it to focus on the United States, if you just want to focus on degrees of inequality, how the politics of higher education sabotage the American dream. If you want to focus on Great Britain, you can kind of see all these options. Let's focus on United States here, and that's going to update it a bit for us, and that'll narrow our topics too, so we won't have 500 to go through. All right, now we're getting somewhere. We've got 29 results. Okay, so another key thing that we need to know here, you want to scroll through these results using the subjects and the abstract, which is this magnifying glass icon on the right side of page, to find relevant articles. So let me show you what that means. So here's the title, right? The Human Right to Education, Mercosur Commitment and Economic Inequality. Okay, so you can see the subjects. That's what I was referencing. So this is about equality, this is about right to education. This is about education and economics, public ed financing, ed law and legislation, U.S. states administration of ed programs. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to hover over this abstract, and that's that little magnifying glass. I always think of Sherlock Holmes, right? So he's got his magnifying glass. Let's hover over that. And so here we go. Here's the abstract. And this is great because it gives us a summary and saves us from having to really skim through every single article before we know it may be worthwhile. So here's our abstract. That's what we want. This article focuses on the issue of economic inequality in the U.S. and discusses the ways for combating the same. Topics discussed include a relationship between human right to education and economic inequality, analyses of the claim that decreasing inequality in the region and its impact on government expenditures on public ed, and Mercosur's educational objective and their impacts on education. All right, so let's pretend for our sake of our practice here that that is exactly the kind of thing that we want. And we want this article. So now what? We at least want to read it and see if it's going to give us some helpful information for our argument essay. Okay, so what we want to do to read it here is we want to click on PDF full text or full text. Okay, so let's do that. And there it is, PDF full text. That's what we want. So I left click there. All right. Okay. So here it's given us the this is the text. This is the article here. You can see it's 19 pages. It's got a table of contents here. So maybe just one of these topics is really gonna meet the needs of what we're arguing. So that's important to look at that. And we just want to scroll through and start reading and trying to figure out, measuring Latin American inequality. So if we're looking at this may or may not be helpful for whatever our argument may be, but let's pretend that this is completely helpful. So how do we save it? How do we cite it for our annotated bib and all of that? So what you do here, you click on the down arrow icon at the upper right corner of the page to save the article, and it's telling us you can select to email it to yourself, or you can choose Google Drive to save to your drive. I recommend creating a folder for saving all the useful articles that you find. This will keep you organized. And then, keep one document as you're working on your annotated bib where you save your MLA citations and your notes from the article. And this is working towards your annotated bib, and it's also organizing your information and your ideas that you can help build your thesis. So often you may have a topic that you want to argue about, and you're pretty sure about what your argument should be, But as you go along and you research, your argument, may change. So a lot of this, as you go through and research, you're kind of refining your argument, maybe even finding out what argument you really want to make as you learn more about your topic. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's do that. It's telling us that if we want to save it, there we go. There's the right button there. We can download to save it there. Let me show you a really cool trick that'll help you with your works cited page and your annotated bib. There's the email key. If you want to save it right to Drive, there's an option. Like I said, I just use this right side download arrow there to download. But let me show you a trick that'll help you cite this. And I'm looking, that's a link. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. Okay. This may be it right here. Yeah, this is it right here. Okay. So the third one for the bottom, you hover over it and it says cite. Okay. So click on that. And what this is doing, this is telling you, so there's AMA, there's APA. We need MLA for this particular paper, right? So MLA, here we go. This is here's what we need for our annotated bib and our works cited page if we choose to use this article. So you would just simply copy and paste this. It's already formatted it correctly, and that's it. That's kind of the overview there, folks. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please pose them in the virtual office so that either myself or another student or perhaps our embedded tutor can help you. Thank you.